Hello guys, my name's Craig and welcome to NSK TV and welcome to Learn Magic with Ryland. Now you'll probably have noticed that there is something missing today. If you don't know what, I'll give you a clue. He's 7 and he does magic. That's right, Ryland is missing today and the reason is he's not very well. He's sick in bed. He's not very well at all and unfortunately he's not able to film Learn Magic with Ryland. But he asked me, his dad, to step in and do a quick episode for you because he really desperately didn't want you guys to miss out on learning some magic this week. So Ryland will be back next week, but today I'm standing in for Ryland. I'm not as cute, I'm not as good as magic, but I am going to show you a really awesome trick that I think you're going to love. So let me show you the trick first of all. It's a card trick, so for this trick you're going to need to get yourself a deck of cards. Any deck of cards is absolutely fine, but you will need a deck of cards to do this trick. Now, I'm going to show you the trick first of all, and then I'll teach you how it works. And how this trick works is you give somebody the pack of cards and you have them shuffle the cards. So if I had somebody here with me, they would shuffle the cards and they'd mix it up, and then they would pick a card. So I'm going to take a card out. I'm going to pretend that somebody's picked it. We're going to go this card. I'm going to look away so I can't see it. I'm going to show you guys the card. Okay, I didn't see that card. So now, you would then ask the person to put the card back into the pack, which they would do, and you'd ask them to leave it in there. And I want you to see that the card really is lost in the pack. Now, you can then get them to give the cards as many cuts as they want to. They can give the cards as many cuts as they want to. And at that point, you then say, I now have to try and find your card. And you say to them, now normally what magicians will do is they will spread through the cards like this and they will try and find the card, and that's how they'll try and find it. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give the deck a very special shuffle first, and this is called a slip slop shuffle, and because it's all slippy and sloppy. Let me show you what you're going to do. You're going to take some of the cards and you're going to mix them face up and some face down and some face up and some face down and some face up and some face down and some face up and some face down. You're going to end up with a whole bunch of cards that are face up and face down. If you actually look through, you can see there's cards back to face, you can see there's cards face to back, and right down in the middle you can see that there's cards back to back. Cards mixed up all over the place. We don't need the box. There you go. Now I'm going to try and find your card. Now I've mixed up all the cards. I'm going to find your card, which is even harder because I didn't even know if your card's face up or face down. But look, all I have to do is wave my hand over the pack. And when I do, every single card turns face down, except for one card in the middle. You can't probably see that very well, so let me spread them out. All the cards are facing the right way, except for one card in the middle, which is the 9 of clubs, and you will find that that is your card. And that's the trick you're going to be learning today. So it's a really cool trick, and it's very, very easy. Like everything that Ryland teaches you, it's a very easy trick. You just need a regular pack of cards, and you get somebody to shuffle it. All you have to do, this trick uses something called the key card principle. And the key card principle is when you remember a particular card, and that card helps you find another card. Sounds complicated, but it's really easy. What you have to do when they've shuffled the cards is you take the cards back like this and you just say, wow, these are shuffled really well. And all you do is when you do that, you look at the bottom card and you remember it. You have to remember that bottom card. So I'm remembering 5 of diamonds. I'm going 5 of diamonds, 5 of diamonds, 5 of diamonds, 5 of diamonds. Okay, that's it. Now you get somebody to pick a card. It doesn't matter which card they pick. Let's just say they pick this one, for example. This card is the 7 of spades. And this is important. They've picked the 7 of spades. You then cut half of the cards onto the table and you ask them to put their card back. And you put these cards on top. So your 5 of diamonds is going on top of the cards, on top of their card. And that's the key card principle. Because now, even though their card is lost in the middle of the deck, if I spread through the cards and look for the 5 of diamonds, the card directly underneath it will be their card, in this case the 7 of spades. All I have to do is look for the card I've remembered, and the card next to it is the 7 of spades, is their card, right? Now the nice thing about a deck of cards is it's cyclical, which means that, and a lot of people don't realise this, but it's true, you can cut the cards as many times as you want to, and it won't change the order of the cards. It'll just reposition them. So no matter how many cuts the person you're showing this trick to, no matter how many cuts they give this deck, the 5 of diamonds will always be next to their card. So you can get them to give the cards as many cuts as they want to. They can give the card. It has to be single cuts like this, like I'm doing. You couldn't get them to like do running cuts. That wouldn't work, because that might change the order of where the cards are. But you can get them to do single cuts as many times as you want to. And all you have to do, and all you know, is the card right next to the 5 of diamonds. You look through your key card, you look for your 5 of diamonds, and right next to the 5 of diamonds, there it is the card they picked, in this case the 7 of spades, and no matter how many times they cut, you're going to get that. Okay, so, and that's a trick in itself. If you wanted to, you could end the trick right there. You could just say, okay, let me look through the cards, let me see if I can work out what your card is, and you can tell them the card, and that's a good trick. But we're going to use the key card principle to do an even better trick. So when they've cut the cards and they think their card's lost in the deck, you then say, now, and you pick up the cards and you spread them towards yourself so you can see the faces and they can't. And you say, wow, you've given these cards a really good shuffle. Oh my gosh, this is really well mixed up. I don't know how I'm going to find your card. And as you spread, you're looking for their key card. You're looking for your key card, the 5 of diamonds, and the card next to it will be their card. And at that point, you break the spread. So you just take all of the cards in this hand, so you're left with their card on the face of this packet, and you go, wow, you shuffled these cards really well. I don't know how I'm going to find your card. And you put the cards back together, but you put these cards in this hand on top of the packet, which means that their selected card is now on the bottom of the deck. Now let me do that again for you so you can see it in full speed, okay? So in full speed, they shuffle the cards. You take the cards back and you look at the bottom card. Now, I don't want a joker because there's 2 jokers in the back. There you go, Queen of Hearts. So you take the cards back and you say, pick a card for me. Very good. Have a look at it. I'm not going to look at it. Remember the card. Good. I'm going to get you to put the card back in the pack. Okay, and we'll give the cards a couple of cuts. You can cut the cards yourself. Now, if I told you I was going to find your card, that would be really good. But in all honesty, you shuffled these cards really, really well. Like, oh my gosh, these cards are shuffled so well. I don't know how I'm going to find your card. I think this is going to be impossible. I tell you what, let's try something else. And now I've got their selected card on the face. I've got the 5 of spades on the face. So that's how you get the card to the bottom of the deck. Key card principle. Now the next part, which is where I shuffle the cards face up into face down and they all end up the same way, that uses something called a slip-slop shuffle. Now, let me explain how that works. It's really easy, but let me explain how it works. You hold the cards face down. Okay, so all the cards are face down. And you're going to shuffle the cards face up into face down. Now the way I'm holding the deck right now is dealing grip. In other words, if I was going to deal cards out, this tends to be how you hold the cards. And then what you do is you hold this hand so the fingers are here and the thumb's on top, and you spread some cards off, okay? Then you flip everything over. So you turn your hand over and you flip some more face down. Then you turn everything over and you spread off some more. You turn everything over and you spread off some more. Turn everything over, spread off some more, turn everything over. And you keep doing that, okay? And it looks, you keep doing that up until you get to the bottom. And when you get to the bottom, you put that last card face down on the face up bit there. So it looks, when you do that, like the cards are being shuffled face up into face down. But in reality, all you have is at the bottom, you have a whole bunch of face down cards. Then you have a whole bunch of face up cards. And then you have this card on the top, which is the selected card. Now let me show that again to you so you can see what it looks like in full speed. So the cards on the bottom of the deck. You say, look, I'm going to shuffle the cards. I'm going to take some cards face up. I'm going to take some cards face down. And I'm going to keep mixing the cards face up into face down. And it really looks like they're mixed up. But as I say, they're not. You've got a whole bunch of face down cards, a whole bunch of face up cards, and then you have the selected card here. So one more time, because I really want you to get this. You spread off a few cards, turn everything over, spread, turn, 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 so on and so forth. Okay, that's what you do. Now, you're going to sort all the cards out. And here's how you do it. First of all, you cut shallow. In other cards, you cut a small packet of cards, like about 10 cards. And when you do that, you can show that the cards are back to face. You can say, look, there's some cards back to face. Then you cut deep, so you cut about 30 or 40 cards, you cut down towards the bottom, and you can show that the card's back to face. So you go, look, there's some cards face the back, there's some cards back to face. And if you cut in exactly the middle, you get cards back to back. Now, how you cut exactly in the middle is you'll notice there's a gap because the cards are, half a face up and half a face down. So you'll see that there's a gap, so it's very easy for me to go boom and cut straight back to back. Now, if you do struggle cutting back to back, you can use your thumb and riffle up the back. You can kind of riffle up the back like this and look for that point where the backs are against each other. But you really don't want to do that. You really want to make sure you've got that little gap there at the back, because then you can just immediately pick up. And when you pick up at that gap and you show that there's cards back to back, as you put these cards back, you flip this packet over. And what happens is when you do that, it sorts every card out except for their card, which ends up in the middle. So now when you spread through the cards, there's one card face up and the rest are face down, and it's their selected card. And it really is a very, very, very clever trick. Now, one piece of advice I'll give you is at the very, very beginning, you want to give these cards a bend like this. Look, bend, bend, bend. A little bit of a subtle bend, because then you'll definitely have that gap in between. Because that way, because what's happening is because you're bending the cards a bit like this, when the cards are flipped over like that, you're creating, because of the bend, half the cards are going that way, half the cards are going that way. So it creates that little gap in the middle. So one more time, very quickly, all the way through. They shuffle the cards. You give the cards a bit of a bend at the beginning, okay? They shuffle the cards. You take the cards back and you say, wow, you've shuffled these well. You look at the bottom card, 7 of spades, you remember that. They then pick a card and they take it out. That card is the 3 of diamonds. You have the card put back there so that your key card is going back on top. They can cut the cards a few times if they want to. You then say, wow, you've given these a really good cut, and you spread through. You're looking for your key card. When you find your key card, you take the card next to it, you cut at that point. So now their selected card is at the bottom. You then do the slip slop shuffle. So you take the cards face up, face down, face up, face down, face up, face down. It looks like the cards are a complete mess, but now we know that they're not. Half face up, half face down, and the selected card is here. You then have that bend. You can see there's the gap at the back. So you cut shallow and you say the cards are back to face. You cut deep and your cards face to back. You cut in the middle and they're back to back. You flip this packet over and you say, look, you put them down and you say, look, your card's somewhere in the deck. The cards are shuffled face up into face down. Would it be impressive if I could find your card? It would. Well, I'll find the card and sort all the cards in the deck out. Watch. Shake. And now every single card is facing the right way, except for one card and one card only, and that's your selected card. And it's a really quick, really simple card trick that doesn't require much work, but it always gets great reactions. So there you go. That's another trick with Learn Magic with Ryland. I'm Craig, standing in for Ryland. I need you to do 2 things for me. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and follow us on YouTube. We put videos up every single day. So if you want to learn more magic or see any of the other stuff that we do, please follow us on Facebook and YouTube. And also, very importantly, make sure you tune back in next week. Ryland will be back next week, short of him going, I can't. He's ill at the moment. He's terrible. But hopefully he'll be back next week. And I know he's got some amazing magic tricks to show you. So guys, thanks very much for tuning in. My name's Craig, and I'll see you on NSK TV soon. Bye-bye.